they get the notice.
Hello, fellow comic book worms. This is man. Welcome to my channel. Hey, me and Roger, we're gonna do something really new, or actually old.
Old.
This is the old folks' home, man.
Yeah.
We're gonna cut the grass.
I got my dentures right over here in a little glass, you know.
And yeah, we're gonna do. Actually, we're gonna. I think we're gonna do something really fun. At least fun for us, right, Roger?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So I'm not gonna do any intro because everybody knows who Roger is. Come on.
They do? Oh, okay.
All right, go ahead. Do intro on yourself, Roger.
Oh no, I mean, yeah, Metarog, been around for almost 5 years now on YouTube, and just love this community, and because of that, I did those weeklies, contest updates. Now it's bi-weekly, and of course I was on the No Faces chat. I've been on Graders Notes. Now I'm doing with Gary B on Saturday nights, his 10-1-1s. So, I'm out there,
And Roger, I'm going to start this thing called Old Folks Comic Talks.
Old folk comic talk, man. That's it. That's it. We're talking about not comics that you can get from the LCS. We're talking old comics, like from the newsstand.
Old comics, something you haven't seen before, and something you probably never read, unless you're Korean. Maybe there's a chance.
Right.
Korean American, but you got to be Korean American too. By the way, that's gonna be. Well, this is.
Well, we're a big fan. Hey, Darren, how you doing, my friend? What I like about this Namen is that we're gonna get into specific comics that probably nobody would have heard of unless you are, dig deep into the comic books of the past,
Right.
And this one we're going to do today is just a totally unique and just fabulous story. That again, you wouldn't necessarily notice that how unique it is unless you actually, are a fan of this title or this era.
Okay. So it's man, I think we hyped it up quite a bit. let's just see if we got somebody in the chat room here. Hey, we're with my lunchtime. What's up?
Hey, Darren.
Looking forward to this. So are we?
Yeah, so are we.
And we're gonna spoil the heck out of this. So
yeah, this is not a spoiler. This is the whole thing.
Yeah, we're gonna show you everything.
Okay? Everything. Yeah. Hey, Jackson Roykirk, how you doing, my friend?
I mean, if you haven't read this by now, you probably would never read it. So we're not, it's if you haven't read it by now.
I've read this a couple times, and honestly, it's just a beautiful story and the wonderful art and those classics. I go back to them, because they just every time I read them, I get like another little tidbit from them,
So, well, Roger, even you haven't read it yet today. I mean, until I read with you, actually, right?
I've read it. I read it a couple days ago, but I hadn't read it until many years before that.
I'm talking about you haven't read it yet. The portion of it.
No, yeah.
Okay, so let me go ahead and introduce the comic book right now. All right, how do I do this? Add to the stream. There you go.
There it is.
It's sorry guys, it's a reprint, but it has exact same content from the original, right?
Correct. Exactly the same. Even if you notice the splash page, it actually talks about the comic it was originally in. So
the splash page, next page.
Next page, right.
The story is called The Promise. It's a Korean folktale told in English and Korean. Hey, what? A Korean folktale. Old folks comic talk.
Folktale, yeah. I see the. Yeah. Let's talk about this cover a little bit, Namen, if you don't.
All right, let's talk about this cover.
Obviously drawn by Sanho Kim, which before the stream started, the man's ears are probably going off red because we just heap so much praise on him. Korean artist, very well known in Korea for his science fiction work, as Naman and I were talking about. And look at the colors, look at the position of the characters, and look at the texture of this cover. There's, it's called Scary Tales. Originally, it was in Ghostly Tales. So there's a mystery or horror element here. If you look on the upper right, there's the one of the sisters, the apparition, right, is up there. And then there's a little moon, there's a little bit of mist, and then you have the Korean soldier in the foreground with the Japanese soldier coming at him from the angle from the back. And you notice there's a hand coming out from the ground and grabbing his boot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so lots of elements all included here. And unlike a lot of the modern covers, Naman, this is a great teaser to the story. It has a lot of the elements that's included in the story, but it doesn't really give a lot away. And I really like that about this cover.
Okay, now I'm going to give some away here. I'm going to add a little bit to that. The apparition you talked of, she's in white, right?
Yeah, she's kind of in a grayish or, like transparent almost, like opaque.
She's in white dress. Normally,
yeah.
The white dress represents either she's a widow. If you're a widow, you normally wear white.
That's in Korea, right?
That's in Korean tradition. So
Okay.
if you're either widow, you normally wear white, or it could be ghost. That's how they represent ghost. The people in white dress and then the loose hair is how we represent ghosts. So that person right there could be a ghost, or it could be person who has been widowed. Okay. And the even though this is Korean, the writing here is Chinese characters. So so I cannot read Chinese, but these are Chinese characters right here.
The ones on this log over here to the right.
Yeah, that's a Chinese character. Right. And this is supposed to be a mound here. There's another mound right there.
Mm-hmm. So
normally, this is basically a graveyard because the mound rep. In America, when you go to cemetery, it's just flat with a stone on it, right?
Right, like
in Korea, they represent where the body is buried. They put a mound on it.
They put a mound on it.
Okay. Yeah, like with the grass and everything. So
interesting.
Yeah,
interesting.
Hello, Kenneth.
Hey, Kenneth, how you doing, my friend?
Did I say hi to Jackson, by the way?
I said hi to him. I don't know if you did, but I did.
Sorry, Jackson. How are you, sir? All right.
A couple other things to point out. Notice the apparition is holding a scabbard.
Yep.
Which obviously there's a sword in there, but you only see the scabbard part. And also the Korean soldier
actually holds the sword right there.
Yeah. Oh, that's your sword. There you are. That's right.
Yeah, she got the scabbard here.
And the Korean soldier has a very like some ornate belt there.
Yeah.
Notice that. Yeah.
Yeah. This soldier is not very highly ranked. Mm-hmm. This is normally low ranked soldier uniform, just to give you content. The Japanese soldier, I think, is not very highly ranked either. So.
Right. He looks like more of a foot soldier, right?
Yeah. These guys are basically. He doesn't even have armor on. This guy has some armor on.
Well, if you look at his arms, it looks like he's got some kind of chainmail under his.
Yeah. But he normally have more armors than this. But something happened to him that
Okay. Well, isn't he? What in the story? Wasn't he in the Navy?
Yeah, he was a Navy soldier.
Navy.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe they're a little lighter there. Yeah.
So yeah, he had a swimmer shore. So that's
he would sink in armor.
Yeah. So they don't have much of armor on him.
Yeah.
The lady has sword, and what else? What else was I was going to mention? Moon. These are different mounds here to indicate that this is a graveyard. If a Korean saw this, they know this is a graveyard, And these writings are basically Chinese. Korean back then used Chinese character. Yeah,
Okay.
So within the Korean written language is only 500 years old, and we've been only using it less than 100 years when we got liberated from Japan occupation. That's when we start using Korean language.
Oh, interesting.
Written language. So
interesting.
yeah. And ready to go next page?
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. Oh, not that one.
No,
Those are not Koreans, okay? Okay, there you go.
There you go.
So original tale was Ghostly Tales from Haunted House. So
right.
This is from 1979, but the original one was written in 1973, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was from Ghostly Tales 101.
Yeah. Let me do. And this is Sanho Kim. You call him? How you pronounce him?
Sanho Kim. Yeah.
His name is pronounced Sanho Kim. We go by last name first, so Kim Sanho.
Kim Sanho. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, he writes it Sanho Kim. So I just.
Yeah.
Or is it? Do you read it from left to right?
We read from left to right.
Left to right. Okay, so that makes perfect sense.
But we used to read right to left with the Chinese when we read Chinese characters.
Yeah.
And up and down, but we have abandoned that for about 100 years. Excuse me. So Sanho Kim, this is the original Ghostly Tales. That this is the original book.
Yep.
Yeah, and the dude has Sanho Kim created this character called Li-Fi. He's basically Batman and a little bit of Superman in him. He basically protects Korean, territory. The dude, what's his name? Kim Sanho. He been through Korean War and Japanese occupation. So you have to excuse some of the language that we're going to speak in this comic book. He's not going to speak nicely of Japanese soldiers.
No.
And anyway, this guy Li-Fi is the very first Korean sci-fi character. So Sanho Kim is responsible for introducing a very first Korean science fiction character to the Koreans. So that's a very huge. I mean, that's huge.
Oh
that's
yeah.
Back in 1959. So me and Roger are gonna go over more Sanho Kim. This is just quick intro. So
yeah,
let's go back to the.
Hey, Miss Canadian Scrapper, how you doing?
Hello, Miss Canadian Scrapper.
Cool.
All right. So let's look at this. The Promise is the title of the comic book. These two characters are representing the promise in Chinese characters. These are Chinese characters. The Sanho right here is Korean character. Okay. Can you tell the difference between these two?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. The script is very different. Yeah.
And this is really unique because the Sanho Kim wrote this both in English and Korean. And even though this is a fictional story, a lot of these historical facts are what happened in Korea. So English part, Roger's going to read it. Korean part, I'm going to read it. All right. And Chinese part, sorry, I'm not going to read it.
Yeah, we'll skip that one.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead, Raj.
Okay. We're not going to read the intro and stuff like that, but
Okay, right.
the top part is sort of another little encapsulation of the characters involved and the situations, right? Notice the lady in the middle with the very beautiful Korean lady, and then there's the scarred one here below, right? And that, again, it's all part of the intrigue of the story, but this is how it starts. 1598, March, Korea, the Battle of the South Sea, under the command of Monkyung, the Korea Navy has suffered defeat after defeat of the Japanese.
1598년 3월 남해 해전 원군 제독 휘하의 한군 해군은 일본 함대를 상대로 계속되는 해전에 참패를 거듭하고 있었다. So this I just want to show you the sword. This sword right there is a Korean sword.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a samurai sword. Notice that it's a little bit straight. So that's a Korean sword. Samurai swords are a little curved, and
Yeah.
that's
And remember the turtle ship.
yeah. And then this is a turtle ship.
Yeah.
This is a famous turtle ship. This this is called turtle ship because this top portion is basically armored, like a metal armor on top of that. And this is this dragon. It's basically a battering ram. It's metal. It's metal. I mean, they are metally made, and these are all the wooden parts in the bottom. So it could get hit by fire arrows, and it will not burn because it has a metal shield on it.
Right.
And this battering ram, they will just run right into an enemy ship and will split them open. So it's huge battering ram in the sea. I mean, in the sea. So this ship is solely responsible for General E historically being able to defend the Korean South Sea from Japanese invasions.
Right. Yeah, because the Japanese had I think superior amount of ships.
Yeah, they always had a superior amount of ships, and we only had one of these ships.
Yeah, you only had like a couple hundred or so. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is where the General E, he got accused of well, I think that's not explained here. This is Wang Gyung, Commander Wang Gyung, right?
Right, Wang Gyung.
Yeah, Wang Gyung. Yeah. So the Wang Gyun is the commander of this ship, and he's losing. And you notice this shoulder just got on the shore right here. So,
all right. So I'm just gonna read. I'm gonna read the panels, and then we'll alternate because otherwise it'll be like a little too unwieldy. All right.
Right. Okay.
All right. Yeah, that was my ship. And he's looking there forlornly. But he says, I've survived, but our Navy under the incompetent command of Wang Gyung is being destroyed by Japan. Once victorious Korea Navy now reduced to 12 ships.
Go ahead and read the. I'm just going to introduce you to, since I'm going to introduce you to some of these something that you guys haven't seen before. Mm-hmm. These are not like kapow wow. This is that's a sound of a surprise. And this is who is it? 누구냐? Amho. Say the password. Wow. Who is it? And Amho. Say the password. And that's the Japanese people. I wish he wrote Japanese in here too, but that would be cool.
Wow. I think I don't know. It would have been too. It would have used up too much of the art.
Right. He's Korean. Kill him. 저기다 죽여. Right.
Yeah. Right. You want to read that top part, and then I will continue.
This part right here.
Yeah, that top panel. Yeah.
8 is the sound. He's screaming 8, and Kaya. The Kaya is this guy screaming. He's hurting. Kaya. Hey, and then cha. So these are some of the sound effects. Sha. Wow. That's it. Yeah. I don't know why they don't have a gun noise here. I don't know why they don't have gun noise there. I think he missed that part. There is gun noise right there.
No, the gun comes later on. Yeah, comes later on. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it comes later on.
All right. So you guys know what's going on, right? I mean, go ahead, Roger.
Yeah. Want me to read the next panel?
Yeah.
Okay. Again, your Korean is first, but only Admiral Yi Sun Shin could have led us to victory, but he's in jail, thrown in there by Won Kyung and his corrupt followers.
Right. So these are real, actual historical facts. This person is fictional character, but what he's saying right there is historical facts. And right here, when he's falling down, that's 털썩. That's sound effect. How would you say it when someone's falling down? What would that sound be?
Thud.
Thud. Yeah, that's the thud, basically. Thud.
Yeah, but you're ahead now. You went ahead. You went to the next page, dude.
Oh, did it? Oh, did I?
Yeah, go back.
Okay. What were we?
You skipped a page, man. You skipped the whole page.
Did I? Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. Oh, there you are. Okay, there you are. Okay. Okay, now he goes, I think this area is under Japanese control. Yeah, I think that's pretty obvious, right? I'm not sure which way is to our base. And then he says the onomatopoeia stuff. Somebody say the password.
Right. Oh yeah. 누구냐? amo. That's what.
Yeah. Say the password. And obviously that's the Japanese saying that, right?
Yeah, that's the Japanese saying. That's the Japanese saying Korean words though. So
okay.
it's a little. I mean, of course, when you're invading forests, I guess maybe they learn some Korean.
Yeah, they learn some. Sure. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it makes perfect sense. Yeah. Sure.
I don't want to meet Namen in dark alley.
Yeah, don't mean Namen. I mean, that guy he's tough, man. Now this is, again, remember, this is back in the 70s, and he's writing historical parts. So this is kind of a, insulting to the Japanese, but remember that, right?
Oh yeah, okay. That's why I think I wanted to not say this. Go ahead.
Yeah, because he says Japs all around, Japs, Japs, right? No way to run. All right then, I'll fight to the death.
Right.
And then the Japanese are saying he's Korean, kill him.
Yeah.
Well, whatever they're saying there.
Well, this Jap is pretty not a nice word, but
correct.
What the Korean guy is saying is even worse than.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, so he's saying 외령들에게 완전히 포위당했구나. 빠져나갈 길이 없다. 좋아. So good. 그렇다면 죽기로 한사코 싸울 수밖에. So he's like, it's almost like a Klingon saying it's a good day to die. And
hey Roscoe, hey Shop, how you doing, guys? Welcome.
Hey Roscoe. Shop.
So this top panel over here.
I'm surprised there's no English sound effects in there.
Well, the sound effects are what, Korean, right?
Yeah. These are 8 kaya cha.
But that's a great action panel up there. I mean, look at his pose. You can tell he was.
Oh, this is what this guy's doing right here. This yellow guy. Then the cha.
You can tell he's slashing.
Cha. It's like it's a kiap.
Kiap.
Like taekwondo, when you make a kiap noise. Cha.
Yeah. Okay. And then he's got the silhouetted. That horizontal silhouetted panel.
Yeah, that's a beautiful, right?
Yeah, gorgeous stuff. You can tell it's all motion,
Right. Yeah.
All right.
Go ahead.
Then again, remember what I said, right? This is going to be a little bit disturbing if you're Japanese, okay? He says, dirty Japs. This is the only way to take care of you. Yeah.
I'm dying. Well, remember this guy went through Korean War and Japanese occupation during. I mean, he's 80-some year old right now. So and this is written back in 1973.
Right.
So 더러운 외놈, 너희 같은 놈들은 이렇게 죽어야 해. So you deserve to die, kind of thing, This is the only way to take care of you guys. Okay, so that's a good interpretation right there.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I like when you say it better, though. Somehow I've killed all of them. Like, remember, there were what, at least 3 or 4 of them there.
Right. He's a little surprised, actually.
He's a little surprised, it looks like to me. But again, there's a reason for this, right? But more will come after me. I'd better get out of here.
Okay, I'm gonna skip the Korean one on that one.
Okay, but notice down, he's cleaning his sword there, and notice there's the rifleman hiding in the reeds there.
Yeah. There you go. Go ahead.
Okay, so now here he does translate. Bang.
Yeah. Bang. Korean is tung.
Tung. Arg! I'm hit. Now they'll get me.
Arg. English is arg.
Arg is arg.
Yeah, in Korean is 아!
Ah!
저게 흑탄에 맞았다. 이걸로 내 운명도 끝이로구나.
Yeah, I like it when you say it. So it's like that thud again. The thud.
털썩. This is 털썩.
The thud. Ow! What pain! But I can't give up. If they catch me, they'll kill me on the spot.
고통이 심하다. 하지만 여기서 포기할 수는 없지. 만약 외놈들에게 잡히면 그 자리에서 죽음을 당할 거야. Man, this guy grammar is spot on. It's not a he's not a comic book writer. Wow. Okay, go ahead.
No, he's you know that he's a very educated man. Okay.
Yeah, he is.
All right. So now you have the scene there with the other Japanese soldiers, and now you have obviously a commander of some sort because he's on a horse there.
Right.
Yeah. And he says, "This way." Obviously,
이쪽으로. Yeah.
We know he can't get far. Look under every blade of grass, and as soon as you find him, kill him. Obviously, these guys are just they want to eradicate any Korean soldiers they find. Obviously,
Man, he had to get really creative in typing these things, didn't he? Like some of them, he had to put in a little outside of the box. Some of them, he put it in a bubble.
Very creative.
Yeah. Because otherwise, he have no drawing space. Yeah,
Exactly.
이쪽으로 그리 얼리 못 갔을 거다. 숲속을 샅샅이 뒤져 발견한 즉시 죽이라. So, yeah.
I like the way you say it much better. Nowhere to run, no place to hide, nothing but reeds and rushes. They're right behind me. Oh, it's no use to go on. Oh God, please help me.
더 이상 갈 곳도 숨을 곳도 이곳에는 없구나. 적을 바로 뒤에 있고 보이는 건 쓸모없는 잡초뿐. 아무리 노력하는 별 수가 없을 것 같다오. 부처님 도와주십시오. 오. So there's a translation difference right there. I just noticed. He said, "Help me, Buddha."
Help me, Buddha. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah. 부처님 도와주십시오.
Okay.
In here, maybe
It says God. It says God.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Interesting. Wow.
Yeah, because I'm sure he didn't want to offend the Christian reading English people, right? So,
Possibly, but yeah,
I don't know. I mean,
that's interesting. I see. That's why it's important to have somebody who knows Korean to see the nuances here, right? Hey, lowbrow, how you doing?
Hello, lowbrow.
All right, next, right, lower left panel. There's a light up ahead from that house. Maybe they'll help me there. No place else to go. Got to try them.
저게 민가의 불빛이다. The light up ahead, that house. Okay. 민가 is just a regular house. Okay. 좋아. 더 이상 갈 곳도 없으니 최후로 저곳을 가보자. 호와 혹시 도와줄지도 몰라. You read this one? Maybe they were okay.
Yeah, I read it. Yeah.
Okay. All
right. Next page. And again, I don't know if it's coming through on the screen, but there's such a sort of lushness, sort of like a air of mystery of that something is going to happen. In other words, there's just an air of expectation in the art.
Wait, did I skip something?
Yeah, you skipped another page.
We did this, right?
Yeah, next page.
We're doing the opening the door.
No, you're skipping. You skipped there.
Okay, so I don't have that page scanned.
Oh, you don't have that page. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Okay.
All right. Well, I guess we'll just go through it. And I'll describe it a little bit. So he's knocking at the door and he says, "Hey, anybody there? Please open the door. Please help me. Please." Knock, knock. And it's a large wooden door, large two-panel wooden door.
I think I have it here. Let me show it to you.
Okay. Hey, Brian, how you doing, my friend?
Yeah. I'm sorry I didn't scan that.
Oh, there you go. Okay. All right, so up there you see the wooden door
Oh,
where he's trying to knock on it.
yeah, he's not going to the
I remember
door.
he sees a light, so he went to it because he sees the light up there. Notice the lantern there in the front.
Yeah.
And then obviously this young lady opens the door. Who are you? What's the matter? Now she's asking him, you know.
Right.
And he says, "Oh, thank goodness! Please let me in. I'm a soldier and Wang Kyung's fleet."
외놈들에게 쫓기고 있습니다. 아무 곳이나 좋으니 제발 좀 숨겨 주십시오. So it's like a please hide me kind of thing, right?
Please hide me, right?
Right.
And then she says, "Don't worry, come in, hurry." Okay.
She's happy.
Yeah, sappy. Well, you would think, but then he says, "The Japanese are following me. Hide me, please, any place." He's very desperate at this point. Remember, he's injured.
Right.
And now she's closing the door. She's closing the door. She lets him in, closing the door. He says, "But first," now this is where it gets interesting here. "But first, soldier, you must make a deal with me." I want you to read this in Korean, see if it translates. "I'll save your life if you'll do it as I ask." Yes, yes, lady. Anything, anything. You say, now tell me, where can I hide? They'll be here any minute.
Boy, I wish I would scan that one because my eyesight is horrible. Yeah, it says something like that, but I cannot read the details. But let's skip that one.
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
all right. So let's keep going. I'll read the next page so you don't have to strain your eyes there now.
Yeah, okay.
So now they're inside and there's a room in the back, right? And the lady is talking to him with another lady in the background, right? "All right, but first I'll tell you what I want." She's talking here to him.
Right.
"I have a twin sister there," and you can see her in the background. There she is. Look at her very carefully. Very interesting how she says that. Look at her very carefully, right? "Tell me how you like her." All right. Then he says, "She's as beautiful as you are." "Yes, I like her very much. Now tell me, where can I hide? Quickly, there isn't much time." Now, what's interesting here is he only sees half of her face, because she's turned, 90 degrees from him. So she only sees the left part of her face.
Right.
Okay, doesn't see the right side. Very critical there. Okay, now the first lady, the first sister says, "Oh, you like her? Good. I want you to marry her immediately." Then, yeah, right. "Then I promise you I'll save you from the Japanese." Now that's where I started to, my head started to spin, right? I was like, "Oh, something's up," right? Then he says, yes, I'll do anything." So notice what he says here. "I'll do anything." Okay. "Anything you want, but we don't have any time."
Okay.
And she says, "Do you take this woman as your wife? Question mark. Do you promise, Namen? Do you promise to live together? Yeah, until you die." Okay, live together until you die.
Yeah, that was the part.
Yes, I'll do anything. Right. Yeah.
And these are the sound of doors. These are sound of doors on the
door slamming. Right.
And
they're at the door. The Japanese are at the door.
Right at the door.
But she waits here and she says, yes, I swear I will. Oh, they're at the door. Okay, notice that she has a sword, a scabbard there. And notice the other girl is, bowing down like in submission, right?
Right.
This is I'm assuming this is a very paternal society at this point.
Yeah, they're married. They're married.
Okay. All right. Hey, Callie. Hey, Weeby.
Weeby talk. Hey, Weeby talk. How are you, sir?
All right. You want to put the next page? You want to put the next page up on the screen?
Yeah, let's put the next page up on the screen. There you go. And now here, okay.
Yeah. So notice those are the Japanese soldiers, including the one on the horse leading the charge here, and he's kicking the door, which I'm assuming that's like
quang quang. That's a quang quang sound. Quang quang.
Open this door. Open up, or we'll kill everybody.
문 열어라. 문 열려면 모조리 죽일 테다.
Oh, I like the way you say it so much better. And then now the Korean soldier inside says, we've waited too long. You can't save me anymore. I must fight them and die like a soldier. So there's an honor thing, right?
다 틀렸어. 이제 아무리 무비 지쳐야 했어. 당신은 약속대로 나를 구할 수 없어. 이왕 이렇게 된 바에야 군인답게 싸워서 죽을 수밖에.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now the other sister says, don't move, brother-in-law. Notice it's done. They're married, right? The vows have been taken, so to speak. I can't let them kill you. You are my sister's husband. I made a promise to you, and now I'm going to keep it.
Okay, I'm going to see how they pronounce, okay. 가만 계세요. 당신은 이제 제 동생의 남편. 외놈들에게 죽음 당하기엔 너무나 소중한 분입니다. 내가 한 번 약속 is a promise. 약속하고 이제 그 약속을 지킬 것입니다. She's keeping her promise.
Beautiful. I love that language, by the way. Okay, so now remember, you still haven't seen the full face of the sister that's been married. She's bowed down there. He's right in front of her, but his attention is on the other sister, right?
Yeah.
And now he's saying, don't be funny. You can't save my life since there's no place for me to hide.
농담 마쇼. 아가씨가 무슨 재주로 날 살린단 말이오. 더구나 숨을 만한 곳도 없는 것 같은데. So
nice. Here's where you can see the patriarchal aspect of society at this point. Remember, this is 1598, okay? Look, even though I'm a woman, I'll keep my promise to you. Fortunately, my sister and I know a little bit about using swords. We'll save you, and then you'll have the duty of taking care of your wife.
제가 비록 여자이긴 해도 내 입으로 말한 약속은 내 입으로. The promise I made with my mouth. 약속은 반드시 지킵니다. 당해도 우리 형제는 조금 검수를 익혀 알고 있으니 있는 힘을 다해 당신을 구할 것입니다. 이제 당신도 약속대로 자신의 본분을 지켜 아내를 위하고 평생을 돌보아 주십시오. For lifetime, you will have to take care of your wife as you promised.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. These are absolutes here that we're talking about. All right, so now the soldiers have broken through, and they say, "Okay, men, kill everybody."
됐다, 문이 열렸어. 닥치는 대로 모조리 죽여라.
I'm assuming that's like crash, or right?
This is 와자끙. I don't know.
Okay. Now the sister is saying, "Okay, son Ok." Is that how you pronounce it? Son Ok.
손옥아.
They've broken through.
손옥아, 빨리 나와. 놈들이 벌써.
Are you really going? And the Korean soldier, are you really going to fight? You're crazy. There are too many men. There are too many. and then now finally the wife says, "Okay, sister, let's get them for my husband."
아니 정말 싸울 작정이요? 정신 없는지 마쇼. 적은 수가 너무 많고. 알았어 언니. 내 서방님 위해 놈들을 모조리 없애야지. With my husband, she even say highly, my highly husband.
Yeah.
Highly placed husband. So
highly placed husband. Wow, nice. And notice there's some frames in the background there in the house, with the traditional, with those.
These are Chinese writings. Now we use Chinese writing back then.
Chinese writing, right.
Yeah.
All right. So now they're ready. They're ready to going out, right? And then here are the Japanese soldiers. Hey, they're women. What do we do? Again, I'm sure the last thing he expected was women fighting. And I'm assuming that this is the more advanced guy, the higher rank guy, says there's nothing different between men and women in war. Just kill them. That's an order. And then
연인들 어찌 할까? So he was really talking down at these ladies.
Yeah.
It's not polite thing to say when you say 연인들. 전쟁에 여자고 남자고 다를 게 없어. 모두를 죽여. 없애는 게 우리 받은 영역이니까. Okay, so he's just follow the order, man. Doesn't matter.
Right. Yeah. Again, I'm sure that at this point, the last thing they expected was women fighting. That just didn't happen. I'm sure. Now the wife is saying, if you want my husband, you've got to kill us first, and that'll never happen.
네 놈들이 서방님을 죽으려면 우리 먼저 죽여야 하지만 그건 결코 불가능할 테니. You know why that's impossible?
That's impossible. Okay.
It's impossible to kill these ladies.
Impossible. Yeah, it's one of them for sure. Look at this great big, almost full page splash of this battle going on here in this courtyard, right? With the two Korean ladies and the Japanese soldiers. So here's what's happening. Notice what he says here. You idiots, there are only 2 women. He's just totally disrespecting them. Get away. I'll take care of them myself. So I'm assuming that's like
this is the general. It's got more armors and more colors.
Right. So, yeah. And then she's saying, if you won't leave our house after we have asked you quietly, then we'll just have to ask you forcefully.
Okay. Okay. So this is 8 천하의 병신. You retards.
So idiots in English, retards in Korean. Okay.
그까지 두 개진년도 못 당해 결코 쩔쩔 매고 있어. 비키라 내가 해치우겠다. Okay. Let's see. Some of the languages are,
Yeah. It's a little salty.
Yeah.
All right.
조용히 물러가도록 부탁해서 말 안 들은 녀석들을 힘으로 쫓아낼 수밖에 없다. 오늘 밤에 Did she say someone that I love? Oh, okay. You haven't said this yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. Yeah. Tonight, my sister's wedding night. This is what she's saying during the battle, right? Tonight's my sister's wedding night. Why don't you leave us alone? Let people live in peace.
Yeah. Okay, so I thought this was okay. 오늘 밤 내 사랑하는 동생의 결혼식 왜 이리 덤벼들어 귀찮게 구느냐? So she didn't just say my sister that I love. That's the sister she loves is her wedding night, and why you are bothering us? So it's kind of
right.
So
notice in the battle.
This is the lady with who showed all the faces.
Right. Now the one in the back, he still notice the Kim Sanho. He still has her shoulder over her face, so you can't quite tell, what's going on, right? And then down below you have that long horizontal panel where you can see there's another guy up there, and he's just been diced, All right. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, something happened to my picture. Okay, sorry. All right, I guess I hit the button while I was reading. Sorry. Okay. Okay, now she says, you won't get out alive, not one of you.
Wow, that's 단 한숨 내고도 살려줄 수는 없다. Okay, so that's pretty. These are all these guys that die.
Right. I mean, they're just being butchered.
Yeah.
Essentially. And again, notice on the right, on the top right there, you have the wife with her arm over that part of her face. So you can't.
Yeah, she looks pretty here.
She's beautiful, right? And that's why the Korean soldier says, oh, she's your sister. You're gorgeous. He wasn't really paying attention because she's going to be gorgeous too, right? Right. So now, it's the captain. He says, there, captain, now you're following my destiny. You won't bother my innocent sister and her husband anymore.
내가 대장이냐? 너도 곧 내 운명을 따라. 내 운명을 따라. My destiny. 내 운명을 따라. 더 이상 내 착한 동생과 그의 남편을 괴롭힐 수 없으리라. What's her destiny?
Well, we know that, but we'll get to that in a minute. Sonok, we've killed them all. I'm glad I kept my promise. Right?
Yep.
And then the wife, which is turned away, says, yes, we've done it, sister. And now I know that your swordsmanship is greater than mine.
선호가 적은 모두 쓰러졌지. 휴. 내가 약속을 무난히 행해서 기쁘다. 예, 언니. 이제 보니 확실히 언니가 나보다 검술이 위야. So
Yeah,
it's a sisterly talk. But she's insisting that her sister is better than her.
Yeah. And look at the detail down there, the armor shown throughout of the Japanese, and then here comes the Korean soldier from hiding from behind there. He's coming out.
Like he's like, is he wiping his sweat?
Yeah, it's like, what? I mean, he was like, there's no way, he was ready to die, right? All right, then look what he says here. I saw it all, and I still can't believe it. How did two girls, not even two women, two girls, kill more than 10 Japanese soldiers?
알 수가 없는 걸 분명히 내 눈으로 보았지만 아직도 믿을 수가 없는 걸 어떻게 저 두 여인이 10여 명이나 넘는 외놈들을 순식간에 헤어칠 수 있단 말인가?
Yeah, and he's like stroking his goatee, like, how did they do that? Brother-in-law, as you saw, I kept notice he keeps saying this. I kept my promise and saved your life. Now it's your turn. Please take care of my sister and be happy. I have to go now. Goodbye.
분명히 방금 보신 것처럼 약속한 대로 모든 외놈들을 처치하고 당신의 생명을 구해드렸습니다. 이젠 당신의 약속을 지킬 차례입니다. 제발 제 동생을 잘 보살피고 행복하게 사십시오. 자, 전 이제 그만 가야겠군요. 안녕히 계십시오.
That was pretty spot on, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So now notice the wife is turned away from her husband, and on the left, the sister, the beautiful sister, is disappearing, right? And he says, don't worry about your sister. She's my wife now. I'll take good care of her. Where are you?
동생은 더 이상 걱정할 필요는 없어요. 이제 그녀는 내 아내요. 물론 내가 잘 보살피고 어디로?
Nice. Did you see what happened? Your sister, she just disappeared. Where did she go?
아니 당신의 언니가 어디로 사라졌어? 이게 어떻게 된 일이요? Okay.
So now we see this side of her face, but it's kind of in the shadows.
Yeah,
you're not sure if that is a shadow or what, right? But she says, oh, forget her. Come on, darling. Aren't you going to come to me? We're married, remember? You're my wife. No, he's saying this to her. I'm sorry.
Yeah. 좋아요, 언니 여긴 그만두십니다. 자, 어서 이리 와요. So he's getting in the mood, okay? He's 좋아요, 언니 여긴 그만두십시다. 자, 어서 이리 와요. 설마 우리가 조금 전에 결혼한 걸 잊은 것은 아니겠지? 당신 이제 나의 아내란 말이요.
Yeah, he's like, forget about the base. It's my honeymoon. Yeah. All right. So now you see her again. Turn so you don't see the right side of her face. She looks gorgeous for there. What did he say? I don't understand why you're afraid of me. Again, she's sort of turning away from him.
Right.
Let me see your beautiful face.
난 이해가 할 수 없는데 당신은 왜 나를 두려워하지? 자, 그러지 말고 당신이 이 아름다운 얼굴 좀 봅시다. I want to see your beautiful face.
Hey, Kevin Fry.
Hey, Kevin Fry.
Look what Jackson Roykirk is saying. What's going on in there? Is that your girlfriend in there? This is a beautiful translation, by the way. You're so right. You're so right. All right. So again, we have that panel where she's, again, you don't see the right side of her face. I'm sorry, but I don't want you to see my face. I'm not beautiful, really. I'm very ugly, and nobody can stand to look at my face, not even me.
서방님 죄송합니다. 하지만 제 얼굴을 안 보시는 걸 좋을 거예요. 저는 불행하게도 서방님이 생각하시는 것처럼 미인이 아닙니다. 이 세상에서 아무도 견딜 수 없을 만큼 추녀예요. Wow, that's a really ugly. 추녀예요. 사실 제 자신도 견딜 거 없을 정도예요. Wow. Okay.
So she's saying really ugly in
Yeah.
Korean.
I mean, just too bad ugly.
Right. Okay. All right. Now he's talking. Dear, again, remember he's in the mood. He's honeymoon time here, so he's got to get her in the mood. Dear, why do you say such a thing? I'm your husband. No matter what's happened to your face, it's no excuse not to show me.
여보, that's a honey. Dear, okay, so 여보 is
dear.
That's 왜 그런 쓸데없는 소리 하지? 난 당신의 남편이란 말이오. 얼굴이 뭐가 어때서 그러는지 몰라도 내가 봐선 안 된다니 말이 돼요. These are, by the way, the dialect that he's written on there.
Yeah,
it's a dialect from 500 years ago, not the dialect that current Koreans use, by the way.
So he wrote it like a period piece.
Yeah. These dialects are from that period. English, I don't know if you could tell if the English is a period piece or not.
Yeah, back then English would have been very different. Yeah.
So this is a very period piece. I mean,
but
the way he speaks is very different than how Koreans speak now.
If he would have written in English from the 1500s, nobody would understand it.
Yeah.
Okay, so now he's saying, but I know you'll. Now she's saying this, right? But I know you'll leave me as soon as you see my face, and that would be very bad for both of us. So she knows something's up, right?
하지만 당신은 제 얼굴을 보는 순간 저를 버리고 떠날 겁니다. 아울러 그 일로 인해 우리 두 사람도 모두가 불행하게 될 것입니다. Ooh, okay.
It's sort of like a warning in a sense, right? But how can you now again, but how can you live with me if you don't let me see your face? He's saying, right?
Yeah.
Now he's saying here, oh woman, all right then, I promise that I'll never leave you. Now turn around so that I can see you.
Okay. 그렇다면 어떻게 나와 평생을 살겠소? 참 별일 다 있군. 정녕 그렇다면 내게 굳게 약속하겠소. He promised. Okay. 내가 굳게 약속하겠소. He's promising, really hard promise.
Yeah.
무슨 일이 있어도 결코 당신을 떠나지 않으리다. 자, 이제 얼굴을 돌려서 어서.
So at this point, he promised to the sister. He vowed during the marriage vows, and now he's promising to his wife. So right. 3 promises in a sense, right? Right. So now she's again turned that panel there. Okay, if you keep insisting, but please don't be shocked.
좋아요. 정녕 그렇게 원하시다면 하지만 제발 놀라지 마십시오.
And then here's the big reveal. Look, this is my ugly face. Do you still promise to live with me? Oh no, I can't believe it.
자, 보십시오. 저 이 흉한 꼴을 이래도 저와 함께 살겠다고 약속하실 수 있으십니까? 아니 이게 웬일이야? 난 믿을 수가 없어.
Yeah, he's horrified. He's horrified. Oh man. Yeah. And now again, he's back to stroking his goatee. Yeah. Oh my God, what happened to you? What's the matter with your face?
Oh my God. Okay, here it is. 부처님 맙소사, 당신의 그 아름다운 얼굴에 이게 웬일이야? So he say Buddha, not God.
Buddha.
So God and Buddha. Okay.
Yeah, God and Buddha, they're interchangeable there. I'll have to tell you, you're my husband. My sister and I are twins. We grew up together, played together, and learned sword fighting together.
좋아요. 당신이 제 남편이 된 이상 모든 것을 말씀드리죠. 저는 언니 쌍둥이입니다. 우리는 똑같이 자라서 같이 놀고 배우며 똑같이 검술을 익혔습니다.
Yeah, because remember, he asked her what happened to your face, so she is
Right.
now relating the story. When we were young, we promised each other, now she's talking about her sister and her, that we would always do everything together, even getting married.
우리가 어렸을 때 언니와 나는 서로 굳게 약속했지만 평생 모든 것을 둘이 서로 같이 하기로, 심지어도 결혼도 한날 한시에, same time, same day.
Same time, same day. Interesting. Okay. But again, now here he does this kind of in a yellowish, sketchy part, so you can tell this is she's referring to the past. Right. Again, the artist can tell the story here, right? But the war came, remember this her, but the war came, our father, a great army general, died 3 years ago in a battle against the Japanese. Remember, we're talking about the Incheon War, 1592 through 1598. So he was probably in that first or the earlier invasions.
Right. Yeah, Japanese invaded Korea many times.
Many times, yeah.
Yeah. 하지만 전쟁이 닥쳐왔습니다. 그래서 불행하게도 저희 아버님은 복례 전투에서 선봉장군을 전사하시고 말았습니다.
Excellent. Now notice down here where, again, the use of colors, he had the blue for that scene and that time period, yellow, green, and orange. So you can separate the time periods here by color. Very, very cool and very smart way of doing this. And now there's a little arrow there. Notice it says down. Exactly 100 days ago, a band of Japanese marauders attacked our house. My sister and I fought hard. They burned our house and killed everyone, including my sister.
시금으로부터 정확하게 100일절에 아짝 같은 외놈들이 일당에 저희 집으로 쳐들어왔습니다. 저와 언니는 사력을 다해 싸웠지만 하지만 저희 형제에겐 너무나 역부족이었어요. 결국 놈들은 언니를 죽이고 집을 불태웠지요. 번다를 하시다. Okay.
That's pretty spot on.
Yep.
Okay. Somehow I survived, but only after escaping our burning home and becoming scarred over half my face. That's that right panel there.
Yeah. 무슨 기적인지는 몰라도 저는 불행하게도 다 타버린 집의 잿더미 속에서 살아남았습니다. 얼굴의 반쪽이 불에 타서 이 흉한 꼴이 된 채로. Okay, so she's just a rise from ashes, what she said on here. So little translation difference there, but
right. Yeah, probably a little bit more dramatic there.
Yeah.
Now this is sad here to me, but she says, I tried to kill myself, but at that moment, my sister, my dead sister, came to me and said, stop, sister, you cannot die, even if you want to. You're the last of our line. So that's very important, right, Norman? I mean, the lineage of your family is very important.
Well,
cultures, right?
Well, yeah, except they're sisters. So Sanho Kim is a very liberated man. I mean, he's very progressive, even though back in his days, he was thinking that he could connect the lineage through the strong-willed women. So this is not very typical of Korean people's mindset. So
right.
So you gotta say the artist is very liberal, even for his time.
Right. I mean, in a patriarchal society, obviously it goes through the man, but he's saying the lineage can go through the woman, which is
but the thing they can do where if the husband marries these ladies and take on the father's name, then the lineage can
continue. Okay.
Yeah. So let's go to the next panel.
Okay. All right. Our entire family is dead, but you must carry on the family name, our lineage. Remember, this is her sister talking to her after she was scarred and she wanted to kill herself.
Okay. 알다시피 우리 집에 모두가 죽었어. 내가 죽으면 우리 가문과 선홍이 끝난다. 너는 우리 집 대가 끊이지 않도록 해야 한다. So, wow, okay. That's a pretty sexy drawing there.
But notice she's got that dagger ready to plunge it into her guts. You know?
Yeah, the Korean women normally carry these suicide daggers. If they are about to be violated,
raped,
they will
or
kill themselves first before, especially the people with the names.
Yeah, I got you.
Supposedly, I don't know.
Yeah, well, especially Japanese. I'm assuming that would be like just the worst kind of crime against them. Sister, how can I continue our family's name? Look at me. I'm no different than death with this face.
언니, 나 혼자 어떻게 집안을 대를 이을 수 있어요? 날 봐요, 내 얼굴을. 내 생명은 있으나 죽은 것과 다름없어요.
Is that about right?
Yeah.
Don't worry, sister. Remember, this is the ghost sister talking here now. Don't worry, sister. I'll help you. Even though I'm dead, I'm permitted to stay here, walk among the living for 100 days. Remember how it was 100 days before it disappeared. Then my spirit must go back to its dead body. Very important detail there, by the way. And because I'm dead, we can't keep our promise to always stay together, but I'll find a good man for you. I'll get you married.
걱정 마, 선호가. 내 비록 몸은 죽었으나 앞으로 100일 동안은 100일 동안 I'm reading English. 100일 동안은 내 곁에 있을 수가 있다. 그 후엔 반드시 내 영혼도 죽은 사체로 돌아가야 해. 이제 내가 죽어서 너와 전에 약속한 대로 모든 것을 함께 할 수가 없구나. 그러나 내가 좋은 사람을 구해 너만이라도 꼭 결혼시켜 줄게. So, yeah.
Okay, that was good. Okay, so now we're back to the present. And the Korean soldier is saying, I see. Your sister was a ghost and made me marry you. Today was the 100th day since she died, so she had to go back to her body.
Yeah.
Yes, we saved your life, and I'm not going to stop you if you want to leave me, even though we're married. I'll understand.
Ooh, so she is I didn't realize she allowed him to.
Yeah, she's giving him an out.
Yeah, he gave him out. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. Yeah, it's the exact. So let's.
Exact translation. Okay. All right. So now now they're both in the courtyard there. But before you go, so she's assuming that he's going to leave. But here, interesting. Before you go, you must give me a son to carry on my family's name. I'm ashamed to ask you, but please stay with me until a son is born.
Wow. Okay, I see. Okay. Wow, that's a very reasonable. Okay. 하지만 떠나시기 전에 꼭 하나의 소청이 있으니 this is all period piece language. 저에게 아들 하나만 남겨주십시오. 정말 부끄러운 부탁이지만 집안의 혈통을 끊을 수는 없습니다. 제발 그때까지만. Wow. Okay. That's a really
they're married. They're married, so it wouldn't be out of wedlock. But he's saying, just get me pregnant, and then you can go, and everything's fine.
And it was very it was a very convincing plea.
Very convincing plea. Yeah, very convincing plea. I mean, considering, well, we won't get into that right now. But here's what he says. No, I can't. I'm a soldier. The excuse is coming here. I have to get back to my base. I promise, though, as soon as the war is over, I'll return. I promise.
안 돼, 그건 나는 군인이고 본령으로 돌아가야 하지만. Yeah, so exactly what it says. Okay.
So when he thought she was beautiful, he was gung-ho to stay and have honeymoon, and now he's like, well, I gotta go back. You'll never see him again.
Yeah.
So now is when it gets serious here. She says, she's crying. I don't blame you. You can't stand my face. Even I can't stand it. But don't you see, this helpless girl is trying to carry her family name on. It's just like you fighting for your country. Please help me. I'm begging you. If you help me, I'll give you my life. I'll give my life for you.
Wow.
Wow.
The sob is that's that's 그렇게 말하는 당신을 책망할 수는 없죠. 당신이 저희 흉한 얼굴이 견딜 수가 없을 테니까. 그렇지만 당신의 국가의 존망을 위해 하는 것처럼 저는 집안의 마지막 혈통을 이어 보려는 거 이 가여운 여인의 소청을 처벌시켰습니까? 제발 이렇게 엎드려 비옵니다. 만약 제 손을 들어주시면 저희 또는 생명을 당신께 바치겠습니다. 와우.
Yeah, and notice that she's begging him. She's down on her knees begging him.
She's willing to give him her life afterwards.
Her life, yes. Yeah. And then look what he says here and does. He says, I can't stand looking at you anymore. I've got to go. Slash.
Go ahead with the other part.
And then she says, you're, she's obviously bleeding here. You're not a real Korean soldier. That was a strange line, I thought. But anyway, how can you kill me? I saved your life, didn't I? You'll suffer for this. God will punish you.
Let me see if he said that. She said that in Korean. 더 이상 나의 그 흉한 걸 견딜 수가 없다. Okay. 당신은 조선의 군인답지 않아. Oh, you're not a real Korean soldier. Okay. You're not acting honorably, basically. Joseon.
That's what I would think. That's what I would think he would say.
Yeah. So it's you're not behaving like a honorable soldier would. You're not behaving like an honorable soldier would. So okay.
That makes sense. That the English translation is not really good there.
Yeah, so you're not real Korean soldier. It's like so if this was in English, you're not behaving like an honorable soldier that you pretend to be.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. So now it says, now he's running away. Divine punishment. Ha! I don't care. I just couldn't stand her anymore. I've got to get away.
Wow. Okay. 천벌의 흥, 웃기지 마라. 난 정말 그 귀신 같은 얼굴에 견딜 수가 없었어. 어서 이곳에 벗어나야지. So she finally called him 귀신. The 귀신 is ghost, by the way.
Ghost. Okay.
Or master's face. So.
Master of space.
Monster. Yeah, monster's face. Yeah.
Oh, monster's face. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So now he's running away. Of course, he's running away through a graveyard. Now remember that once the sister died, her spirit returns to her body. Okay? And remember that she said that you're going to suffer for this, right? Because he broke his promise. And now he's saying, I think I can get to my base before dawn. Brr, I don't like these graves.
기분 나쁜 공동 묘지로구나. Okay. So that's
And now, what's that? And
이게 뭐냐? 이게 뭐냐? What is this? Yeah.
What is this? Right. Yo, it's a woman's hand from the grave. She's got me, pulling me down. I can't get away.
Yeah. 여자의 손 묘지로 날 끌어당기는구나. So she's pulling me into it. Pulling me into it. Yeah.
And now he's reading the I'm assuming that's your version of a tombstone.
Yeah, and it's written in Chinese, but
Chinese, yeah.
He knows how to read Chinese.
Yeah. It's her grave, my wife's sister. Help!
Please help me here, right? Please help me, right? Korean, when Korean do it, they say 사람 살려, 사람 살려. This is a 사람 살려 means people. Okay. I'm a person. Help the person. Help the person.
Help the person. But look who is coming. Look, somebody's screaming. It's a Korean soldier, and here comes two Japanese because he's screaming, so they know where he's at,
Yeah. 저기 웬 사람 비명 소리. 저건 조선군인데.
And then of course he comes.
Oh, hey, finally they got the American sound here. English sound. Finally,
Yeah, I killed him. I mean, obviously, his leg is in the grave now.
Yeah.
It's been pulled down into the grave.
Yeah.
And now, finally, last panel. What's the guy is saying? What's the matter? Come on, the Koreans are right behind us. Wait, look at this. His leg's in the grave. Isn't that weird?
잠깐 이것 좀 봐. 이 녀석의 다리가 묘지 속에 들어가 있어. 참 괴수한 일인데.
The end. Oh boy. So, it's sort of like the ending sort of like makes you wonder whether was he imagining that? Was he so, bothered by his guilt, that he didn't see, and then he got stuck in that grave and he thought it was the sister pulling him down? Maybe.
Maybe it was muddy. Maybe it was just muddy.
Yeah, maybe it was just muddy. Yeah, exactly. So that's the tale of the promise.
Yeah, promise.
Yeah, 1 foot in the grave. Exactly, Lowbrow. Exactly. That's where that term comes from, right there. Right, that 1 foot in the grave. Once you're stuck in there, you're half dead. Essentially.
October came early.
Yeah, and this kind of literally happened. Right? What a beautiful story. To me, it talks about honor. It talks about the way that relationships are, that as a man or as a person, if you make a promise, people rely upon that.
Right.
And once you break it, you're breaking trust, and you're breaking the bonds of humanity, in a sense. And that in this case, it was a marriage vow, which is very sacred, obviously,
right.
Before God. So,
well, I mean, it's also a promise between two sisters. You had to survive one sister. Even one sister died, two sister promise survived it.
right.
Even the death, even from the death, she kept her promise.
Exactly.
Right. And but this soldier, this is really progressive writing to me. Back in 1973, you're talking about these two group of people, Japanese, Koreans, hating on each other, having this war, and it looks like this guy is the hero of the story. He's the one who's calling these people names, and
yep.
He's the one who wiped them out at first. He got lucky, and then he comes over to these two sisters and makes promise just to survive, and then he don't honor his promises that he made, and it has gone from that historical Japanese hating Korean story to one person not doing something right to another person. It's and they're the same group of people, they're the same race.
Exactly. Right.
They're Koreans.
Exactly. The Japanese were ostensibly the enemies here.
Right.
But I guess, part of the story, there's many layers to the story, first of all. But the Japanese were sort of like, they were in the background. They were a plot element here. Right. But the relationship here, you're right. When the Korean soldier starts, it almost looks like he's going to be a heroic figure.
Right.
And then the ending, he just sort of transforms, because to me, when you look at somebody, you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, right? To me, it doesn't make any sense to say, oh, I'm going to marry that person because of the way they look. I've been married 29 years. I mean, if you just go by that's not a lasting way to harness a relationship. It's based on so much more than that. There's
I mean, the beauty. I mean, even if beauty fades, even within a week, within the 2 weeks,
Yeah, that's right. But that's how superficial he was. That his whole his whole demeanor changed. And when he thought she was beautiful and his life was in danger, he thought nothing of, well, I can't lose. I'm going to die, or I'm going to marry this beautiful lady and be fine, you know?
Yeah.
But now that his life was saved and the immediate danger was gone, he couldn't even though she gave him a lifeline, said, listen, I know I'm ugly, but please just give me, you know, an heir. That's all she wanted, you know.
Right.
Probably could have been there a week and fine, you know.
Yeah, well, I mean, it could have been just a night. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, you know, and
he may not have known, you know, right away.
and also, this is also looking at the half empty cup rather than looking at half full cup. She's beautiful on one side. I mean,
right.
And
right.
it's not, so it turned him on.
Yeah. I mean, it's, but again, it's, I guess, you know, to me, it's sort of like in society, right? When you come out and you say, well, this is my wife, you know, and she looks like that, it's almost like a dishonorable thing to him. Yeah. It seemed like to me.
But,
you know?
but he's been given out. He has been given out. And
he's been given out.
Even that, why kill the girl? Why?
No, right. Nobody has to know. Nobody has to know he's ever been married.
Yeah.
Right.
So he just went from this. Let's say I'm a patriotic Korean dude who went through what Sanho Kim went through. Let's say I'm one of those guys where this is how I would call Japanese soldiers and what all these bad names we call them here in this book. Let's say I'm that kind of person and I'm looking at this guy and I'm going, yeah, that's my, so far he's my hero, right? And then you realize, all that is artificial because this dude is artificial.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
You're looking up on the wrong person. You're highly looking at him as a hero, and when you look at it, he's just a surface.
Yeah, he's paper thin.
He's paper thin. He's just surface.
He's got no character. He's got no honor. All he wants to do is survive and really relate to a superficial part of a human being.
Right.
And again, Kim Sanho, right? It may seem progressive for back then. Now, this is no problem, whatsoever. But that kind of, again, considering the time period, her request of him was about as low level as it can get,
right?
Compared to what he had to gain,
right?
Because he if it wasn't for her, this guy would be chopped liver.
But I just can't get that. I mean, yeah, him running away, even that maybe understandable, but killing her, that just
exactly. Why kill her? Right. I mean, okay. You're a scumbag. You don't want you've broken your promise. You're not a man of your word. Not a man of honor. Leave her be at least. But in a sense, I think she would prefer it that way.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, because so she can't get married anymore. I mean,
she can't get married anymore. She's suffering. She doesn't have her sister anymore.
Yeah.
So
maybe that's it. But she wasn't able to keep her promise.
She was.
She wasn't.
Well, the sister kept her promise. She got married.
No, but she's supposed to. She's supposed to get married to have the heir.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, that promise was broken.
Well, but her sister can't affect that.
Yeah.
I mean, she got her married, and she made him promise that.
Right.
So that her part was done. But once he reneged, she got revenge on him.
Right.
So it's a lot of karma there.
Yeah, this is I mean, I don't particularly enjoy these horror stories, but I really enjoy this one. I mean,
I really did because it's the horror is it's almost like the horror is almost beside the point.
Well, I'm horrified by that man's behavior.
That's what I was going to say. The horror was the behavior of the Korean soldier.
Yeah,
that was the horror element.
Yeah,
the ghost lady was not in any way horror. She was a forthright person who saved him. So the horror does not have to be gory. All right, it doesn't have to be a monster like something with tentacles. Human beings can be pretty horrible. All throughout history, and this gentleman here was definitely horrible. Great story. Kim Sanho, the art was so spot on. The way he fit the panels, and he still had the translations.
I'm gonna have to get the original book on that one. I'm gonna have to get the original book.
It's just gorgeous. I mean, if again, a lot of people, and this is no trashing collectors, right? You collect what you like, right? But to me, something like this, a story like this that you can appreciate and look at just how beautiful it is, and all the lessons here, and every aspect of this story, just it makes me love this medium even more. That it occurred in like this, something
found out that this is, something like this existed back in when, find out this guy existed, and I never knew about him until you introduced me to this comic book, Roger. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh yeah, man. I tell you, when I saw this, I said to myself, Nauman, he's got to have this.
Yeah. I gotta have it now.
I was like, you gotta have this, because when I read it, I was like, this is just spectacular. It's just fabulous. And he wrote and drew this. Remember that this is a total creator thing.
He wrote, drew, and interpreted this.
And interpreted it. Yes.
And he wrote this in a dialect that's no longer. Soap operas and these movies, they use these period piece dialects, right?
Right.
He used the dialect. He couldn't do that in English. He couldn't put a Tom Sawyer like he would have to write like, what's his name?
Shakespeare.
Tom Sawyer wrote.
Oh,
Tom Sawyer.
Oh my gosh.
Guy with the living.
Correct. But again, he has a lot in Charlton. He did a lot of stories in Ghost Manor. I have some of them, really good. Again, they're sort of horror-ish, but almost like in a gothic sense, But his art is just so, it has such an air of mystery and expectation about it. He has very fine, brush strokes on his covers, and a lot of very fine detail on his figures. It's like the Korean version of, one of the, like Neil Adams almost, he puts those little details in that most people would say, well, out of focus.
More of his recent work here, right here.
Yeah.
The comic book that we just read is at least, he started at 59, right? So 50.
Yeah.
He started publishing at 59. I don't know how much he drew before then.
Well, he was in art school. He was in art school back then.
Yeah,
before that.
And then, so that's 70. And then this is a more recent. And he still seems like he's still drawing.
Yeah, he does. He did a few in Deadly Hands of Kung Fu and for Marvel, the magazine. I have them. He did a few stories there of historical pieces also. That are just gorgeous. Yes, correct. Yes. And again, Nauman, I've told you, for like 20, 30 years, I've been a fan of this man.
Yeah.
And I've collected a lot of his stuff. Not as much as I hope, because I'm still missing a lot of those Ghost Manors, which are just gorgeous art. His art there is just absolutely jaw-dropping.
Yeah.
Uh, and I'm missing a lot of his like Warren work and all that, but he's done hundreds of pieces in English.
You gave me a new grill for me to. This is gonna be really hard for me to get. this this is the first sci-fi comic book in Korea. Sci-fi.
That's got to be mission impossible to find, man.
It's like trying to find Superman, right? And
yeah, that's got to be.
Didn't click comic books like they didn't click like we did.
Yeah,
I mean,
I know.
So
I know you told me about the store where you would go in and you would read and then you'd pay and then you'd leave.
Yeah, we couldn't afford any comic book like that. I mean, and so we had to share. And I mean, imagine how much of a wear and tear these comics book will go through.
Oh, they would be ripped to shreds after a few weeks, I'm sure.
Yeah, even if having a cover or even coverless ones.
Yeah,
almost impossible to get.
Yeah, so if you can find it though, that would be epic.
The links I give you had like a Korean. There's like a Korean comic book museum.
Yep. I saw it. Yeah.
So
I saw it.
I would love.
Yeah. Anyway, well, if you can get a hold of Kim Sanho and interview him, that would be epic stuff, man.
I'm gonna try to write him a letter, and I'm gonna try to get him on here. Seems like he's a very accessible person because he did interviews other Korean people that are small YouTube channels like 400 subs. So he seems like a very accessible person. I'm gonna try to get him. My Koreans are not that good. I mean, not fluent, but his English seems to be okay. I mean, I don't know if reading and then talking is different. So
well, he lived in the United States for 25, 30 years, so I'm sure his English is fine. Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe he could just speak English with us, and that'd be. We're gonna try to. Okay. I enjoy this.
All right,
I enjoy this stream. I promise.
Yeah, I know. That's funny.
Don't make a sudden promise, man.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah. Now,
don't make a promise you can't keep.
You promise to see the stream from beginning to end and give it a good review. All right, thumbs up, everybody, for Namen and the stream. It was a lot of fun. If you like this kind of stuff, maybe we can do this every couple of months. Namen, take.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I made this channel name. What is it? Video stream type. It's called Old Folks Comic Talk. So
Old Folks Comic Talk. Yeah, that's what we are.
So thanks for showing up. Weeby Talk. Weeby is a manga guy. He likes manga stuff.
Likes manga? Great. Yeah. Oh, that's a great medium too. Absolutely. Yes.
And he draws in Korean call it, instead of manga, Koreans call it manhwa.
Manhwa. Yeah, that's what Kim Sanho, he brought the manhwa style here.
Yeah.
He was the first one.
Yeah. So
okay.
So he's anyway, thanks guys. Appreciate you guys. Bye-bye.
Take care. Loved it. Aww. Aww. So did we.